How's it going? Nash here. Today I'd like to take you through a follow-along routine here focused on core foundations and postural alignment. So we'll start with some basics and then we'll progress to exercises that build upon each other to help you go through some more dynamic movement and strengthening for your body. So the real purpose of this is to help improve the structure and integrity of your core, right? The stability of your core, as well as improve confidence in your body, help you feel more at ease and a sense of freedom. We're going to start with a exercise that involves breathing to engage the core. I call this belly breathing. And you're going to go ahead and wrap your arms around your waist. So your fingertips are maybe coming close to your navel and your thumbs are wrapping around the outside. And this is going to help activate the transverse abdominis. This is the inner core stabilizer. And when it engages, it cinches in like a waist belt. Okay. So we're going to start by breathing into the belly for a few seconds. And then the exhale, we're going to imagine we're blowing into a balloon, pursing the lips, breathing out through the mouth, and pushing all the air out until the belly button comes down and in towards the spine, exhaling every last drop of air. Right? And so as you get to the end of the exhale, you're going to feel everything tucking in, contracting inwards in towards the spine. We'll do 2 more, in through the nose, out through the mouth, long exhale, pushing the air out. It might take 8 seconds, it might take 15 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever it is. Keep blowing the air out. Push, 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 push. 1 more round, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Imagine you're filling up that balloon, blowing it all the way up. Push, 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 push the air out. Feel the contraction into the core. You can even engage your pelvic floor. Good. And then returning to a normal breath, I want you to work on now creating that engagement without doing a full-on exhale. So just through normal breathing, feeling the belly button tucking in towards the spine. Feel that slight contraction. Sometimes when you cough, it also engages. So you can experiment doing it that way, and it will take practice. So next we're going to transition into what I call the big 3 core exercises that help create stability for not only the core, but also the hip muscles, the muscles surrounding the core as well. We're going to get down to the floor in an all-fours position. Hands and knees. Okay, and we first start by rounding and arching the spine a few times, finding a neutral position. So relatively flat back, there's a slight arch here through the low back. Okay, we connect into the core. So whenever I say connect into the core, we're going to engage the belly button into the spine. We start by kicking the right leg back. Okay, and imagine the right leg is shooting energy behind you and possibly lifting up the left arm. Okay, so this is a progression. Bird dog exercise. Okay, if this feels good and solid to you, we can do some little circles here with the arm and the foot going in opposing directions. But again, imagine energy's reaching away from you. Arms are extending away, leg is extending back behind you, and then slowly coming down towards the center. And then we kick the left leg back. So as you do it, make sure the low back is not moving. So it's just the leg kicking out, feeling that engagement through the left hip. Maybe the right arm reaches up. Feel that connection between the left hand and the right knee. Pushing into the floor. Your gaze is down towards the floor. And then again, option. Doing little baby circles here. Slowly coming back down towards center. Right, so that's the bird dog exercise. The next thing we're going to do is lie down on our back. Knees bent over the hips. Dead bug variation, right arm presses into the top of the left thigh. We're gonna feel a nice engagement there. Imagine there's a $100 bill in between the thigh and your hand. Make sure you do not let go. So as you feel that connection, you might start to feel your lower abs engage. Low back is nice and flat towards the floor. And as we inhale, we're gonna slowly extend the right leg, left arm. Okay, exhale back to center. Most important thing is that the back is stable. Okay, so you can do this here for about 20 to 30 seconds. Hugging your knees into the chest. And we're going to go ahead to the other side, left hand into the right thigh. Again, creating a nice strong connection, engagement. Low back stays stable, connecting into the core as you extend. Now if you want to make this more challenging, you just reach your arm and leg further to the floor, maybe even holding it. Okay, if you feel that sense of stability. Okay, the muscles of the lower abs, the low back, your inner core is all working here to stabilize. That is the function of the core. Nicely done. Going ahead, hugging your knees into the chest, maybe rocking a little bit. We're going to roll over to the side, getting into a side plank position, elbow underneath the shoulder. Make sure the shoulder is away from your ear. Okay, and we do that by pressing down into the floor. The knees are bent. Make sure you move the knees back so we have a nice straight line. Arm on the hip. And then we root down through the elbow and through the bottom knee to lift all the way up towards the sky. The top arm can reach up if you'd like. Okay. Now for this might be too much for some people, right? So you can just even work on pressing up a little bit and keeping the strength in the shoulder. If you can lift all the way up, that's great. And then I would say progression is to lift the top knee up off the floor. Okay? If you're really up for it, you can do some pulsing, lifting up and down. Nicely done. I like to do about 20 to 30 seconds on each side. And this whole routine that I'm going through here, you can do it as a circuit. So you can go through this whole routine and then do it 2 or 3 more times depending on how much energy you have, how much time you have. So same thing on this side. If we root down through the bottom knee, root down through the bottom elbow, lifting the hips up. This is a modified side plank with a bent knee. You can also do straight leg side plank, but I like this one because it works the glute a little bit more. Lifting up, making sure there's an expansion through the chest, maybe the top leg lifts off. Right, feeling that sense of strength, engagement through the side of the body. Okay. So there you have it, some big 3 for the core, targeting the side, the front, the back, the hips, a little bit of everything. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to transition to is movement or an exercise for the neck and the shoulders. Okay, so we're transitioning up to the neck here for our postural alignment. You can do this one seated at the desk. Okay, the whole point of this here is actually to strengthen the muscles that help retract the shoulders. We're going to interlace the hands behind the head, pressing the head into the hands, finding a nice neutral position. The chin is tucked, the back of the neck is long, and then we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades back, opening up. Okay, and then the head pressing into the hands, about 25 to 40%. It's not super intense, but it's enough to feel a nice engagement. And then we're going to do this movement here, exhaling elbows in, inhaling elbows out, finding that squeeze, going back and forth a few times here. If this is too much for you, you can also rest your hands on the shoulders. Okay? But I like to have this engagement with the head pressing back into the hands. Just notice if your head is moving forward, we want to prevent that. do this for, up to 60 seconds here, and starting to feel that opening of the chest, right? So it's a great break you can take while you're sitting at the desk. If you feel you're working a lot at the computer, it's a great way to readjust the position of the shoulders, the head, the neck, okay? Another exercise you can do is work on tucking your chin down towards your sternum and extending through the back of the neck. So we're actually strengthening the front of the neck. So you work on holding that for about 10 seconds. Imagine a string pulling the top of your head up, okay? And then relax. Now, a progression of this exercise is to do it lying down on the floor, where you're tucking your chin and lifting just 25% of the weight off the head. Okay, so that is a progression. I can show you it here really briefly. So the chin is tucking, and the head is still connected to the floor, but I'm lifting about 25 to 50% of the head weight off of the floor. Okay. So that is a real workout for the front of your neck. And I like to do about 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off. You can build up to holding it for longer than that as well. Okay. So there we did some stuff for the neck, the shoulders. Now we're going to come back to working on more of the back area. Okay, and so this pose is called a founder's pose. It is really a miraculous exercise here to strengthen the whole back side of the body, and it starts with hinging at the hips. Okay, so feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to shift the hips back, keeping the spine long. Now coming back up to standing, we're going to practice that a few times. Hips going back, creating a nice little stretch in the back of the body. The knees are soft. We'll do that one more time. So the knees are soft. You should be able to see the ankles in the front of the foot. Okay, so we're not squatting. Hips are back. Arms out into airplane wings. Weight is towards the heels. Imagine the tailbone reaching back, the crown of the head reaching forward. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, lifting the chest up, creating a nice little back bend, and then option to reach the arms up above. Lengthening the arms forward, reaching, feeling this all along my spine, mid-back, low back, maybe even a stretch that you're feeling in the back of the hips, hamstrings. The whole back body is working here to support. Okay. Maybe reaching the hips back, arms more forward, creating a little bit more of a back bend, and then coming on up. Really feeling all the muscles of the back engage. We're going to come down to the floor, working on a Cobra Lift off. Just a little back bend for the mid and the upper back. The hands are right underneath the shoulders. Big toes touching. Inhale, slight back bend. Exhale, lower. So I'm going to start by using the hands to push me off. And then if I feel more comfortable, see if you can hover the hands off the floor. Inhale, back bend, just a few inches off the floor, keeping the chin tucked. Exhale, lower. So you're looking down at the floor. Okay, we'll do a few more of those. And then slowly pushing back up. Okay, coming on up to standing. So those are two exercises that are part of the foundation training series that I think are really, really helpful and impactful for strengthening the whole back of the body. Oftentimes, right, we find ourselves here doing things at the computer in front of us, we get into this rounded position. Those exercises help to open us up, strengthen the back, okay? Another movement that's going to be really helpful as we kind of integrate, we've shown you the hinge position, okay? The squat position is also really important to integrate Okay, after we've trained the core engagement, working on sitting back at the hips, keeping the knees out wide. Okay, arms can reach forward. So this is a great way to strengthen the legs, the hips, the back after we've worked on stabilizing the core. Okay, another movement, we'll do 3 lunges on each side, stepping one foot back, and then bending both knees. You can rest your arms on your hips or reach your arms forward. Okay. I like to energetically pull the feet towards each other. Okay, the knee is over the midfoot here. It's okay if it goes past the ankle, that's totally fine. I'm going to create a slight forward lean. And that way I help to engage the glutes. Okay. I'll do this on the other side. Okay, and just depending on the length of your legs, you might need to step further back or closer together. Okay, feeling your strength and your stability. If you need to hold on to something, hold on to something. Okay. And the next thing we're going to go ahead and practice is a golfer's lean, and this is a great way to pick up something from the floor. So maybe just go ahead and grab something here. I have a little pair of socks I'm going to grab up from the floor. We're going to do the hinge, but with one leg forward and one leg back. Okay? So just like we practiced before hinging, we're going to lean forward at the waist. Okay? My left leg is forward, my left arm is reaching. Okay? And then I'm going to reach down. I can start by keeping the back foot on the floor and then picking this up. Okay? If any of you know like a single leg Romanian deadlift, this is essentially what we're doing, but it's just a way to pick up some light items from the floor. If you feel comfortable, you can lift the back leg up. Okay. We're going to do a few on the right side, starting with the lean, picking it up, coming down. Now once you start to get really comfortable with this, you can begin to explore with a little bit more weight, maybe holding a dumbbell, maybe 2 dumbbells in each hand. My back is straight, the hips and the core are what's really working, as well as your ankle stability. So nicely done there. Okay, so that is the lean, the golfer's lean, way to pick up some things from the floor, as opposed to rounding, right? If something is really heavy, then I like to get into a deep squat, so we can do that. Okay. All right. So next thing we're going to finish off with is a little bit of primal movement. So this is to integrate more strength into the whole routine. We have 2 moves. I'm going to show you the bear crawl and the crab walk, starting on all 4s. We're going to connect into the core like we did before. Curl the toes, lift the knees up. Okay, maybe we're just hanging out here and this is challenging enough. Or we start to walk, right hand, left foot, left hand, right foot. So opposites. And as you move, keeping a nice stable back. There you go. This is much harder than it looks. You can go backwards too. Start with about 20 seconds. Maybe build up to a little bit longer. Take breaks as you need to. I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it here. Nicely done. And the other movement is going to be a crab. So reverse tabletop, hands behind you, squeezing the shoulder blades back, lifting the hips up, squeezing the shoulder blades together. This is step 1. If this is too challenging for you, you can just lie down and lift the hips up, doing a basic bridge, holding, lifting up and down. Otherwise, you're going to play with this crab walk position, staying strong through the hands, through the feet, lifting up the hips. If it's too much on your wrists, you can make a fist, keeping neutral wrists here. And then start to play. You can go in all different directions. Have fun with it. So that's a way to integrate through primal movement, way to strengthen the hips, the shoulders, while you're working through the core. So thank you so much for following along today. Again, my name is Nash, and I encourage you to go ahead and experiment with this whole routine, maybe do it as a circuit. Just wanted to show you a series of exercises you can do to feel more strength, confidence, and freedom in your body. Thanks, and have a good one.